Talk about the obviously catastrophic consequences of reducing emissions and switching to renewables. Gideon, is there anywhere in the world where this has been done successfully?
Not even close, Fred, not even close. The fact of the matter is it's failed everywhere it's been attempted. As you said, it's gotten so bad in Britain that people are rationing their own energy. So as a result, even Boris Johnson, the uber green Boris Johnson, who believed very strongly in the build back better net zero paradigm, has called very sensibly for a pause on Britain's net zero commitments. In Germany, as we all know, they're scrambling to get their coal plants back online and have ditched plans to mothball their nuclear plants because the German green energy dream, once hailed as the model and the beacon for all other countries showing that net zero and this over-reliance on renewables was possible, that has failed in the wake of the fact that the whole time it was only dependent. The only reason it worked was because they had a pipeline of Russian gas to underwrite the whole thing. Without that, it all crumbled. The fact of the matter is that renewables on a good day provide about 10% of the energy needs of the entire world, and that's despite billions and billions and billions of dollars in subsidies over a very, very long time, not to mention the keen interest of groups like BlackRock and all the feel-good triple bottom line investment outfits of the world. So this technology is not yet at the stage, if it ever will be, that it can work. Rushing it onto the market for ideological reasons is having the disastrous effects that you've mentioned in your opening editorial.
How bad will it get for Australia if we continue on this path?
Well, I mean, it's not like it could get much worse. We already have among the highest energy prices in the world, but rest assured, it can get worse, a lot worse. What we have to worry about is not just the fact that our energy market here is in the toilet and prices are rising, but the fact that if the Albanese government gets its way and if the green lobby gets its way, we will start fiddling around with emissions coming from things like coal mines and so on and trying to shut down our coal industry, our gas industry. Now, it just so happens that they account for our 1 and 2 biggest exports in Australia. Without those things, the country will go stone cold broke. So this disastrous experiment has a long way to run, and I think we might see, if the powers that be double down on it, consequences really getting worse.
Do you ever envisage the current federal Labor government changing direction on this?
Well, it looks like they already have, because they already are starting to water down expectations of emissions targets and so on heavy emitting industries. Again, as I've said sort of in a few other forums, it looks like the Labor Party came to office with all these grand plans of 43% emissions targets and so on, and then they realised what I just told you. If they go too hard on certain industries, then they go out of business and the country goes broke. The problem is, it's one thing to exempt big business from these targets, but I don't get an exemption for my power bill. I don't get any sort of credit or rebate for the cost that I'm paying. Every rank and file consumer has the right to feel ripped off, not least of all because the concessions or the ability to buy emissions trading permits like they're mooting for coal and gas concerns would necessarily be passed on to consumers. So, you know, it's a case of necessity, not what works best in terms of their grand ideological schemes.